Okay, so we're gonna start with the process flow diagram. We started with the Nesco roaster, which got its hot air from the heater, and we put in 120 grams of green coffee beans into the roaster, and it filtered the chaff out, and then the catalytic converter released water, carbon dioxide, and other volatile organic compounds. And then we stored the roasted coffee beans in the bag, which released other volatile compounds. And then we used the grinder to grind the coffee beans, which again released the volatile organic compounds. Then we used the 80 grams of the roasted grounds and we put that into the clever dripper. And then we got the hot water from the kettle and we used 1,348.5 grams of hot water. And then the clever dripper had the filter in it, which had the remaining spent coffee grounds, and then the filter released the coffee into the coffee pot, which gave us coffee to drink, and then the coffee pot also released water and other volatile organic compounds.
So now we will be talking about the roast, energy usage, TDS, and PE values. The type of roast we used was the Columbia roast, and we used the Nesco roaster to roast the coffee beans. And for energy usage, the total energy for roasted coffee actually used in the brew was 0.144 kilowatts per hour, and the energy used to heat up the water was 0.08 kilowatts per hour. And in order to minimize the energy costs, we used the clever dripper because that didn't require energy, and the Mr. Coffee did use up energy, and that was one of our ways to try to minimize any energy costs that would be extra for the competition. And next, for the TDS value, we had 1.23%, and the ideal range for the TDS value was between 1.2 and 1.4. So for our final brew for the competition, we got 1.23%, like I said before, and that was within the ideal range. However, the percent extraction we obtained was 15.375%, and that was a little below the ideal range. The ideal range for percent extraction was from 18 to 22% for ideal coffee, and ours landed in the weak to sour bracket. And that is all for roast, energy usage, TDS, and percent extraction. And now we will talk about the sensory evaluations and what we would do to change anything regarding our final brew.
So we had a pretty strong and well-flavored brew. The aftertaste was pretty decent. We got third place in the competition based on flavor. And a thing we would change to make it a little bit stronger would be to add more coffee grounds, and that would change our brew ratio and hopefully make our coffee a little bit stronger.